At the end of August, in the hot century summer of 2018, I got a call if I would be interested to teach students sculptural design at the German university in Oman, called GUtech, in the Department of Urban Planning and Architecture Design, UPAD. Duration approximately 14 days. Well, that sounded exciting, and I agreed. On the 18th of September, my journey started to Oman, a country of which I knew very little, but that was precisely why it was a challenge.
Cabin crew, tickets for London, thank you.
In my imagination, the fairy tale images of the 1001 Nights appeared, magic pictures from Ali Baba and the 40 Robbers, the spirit of the bottle, as well as the adventures of Sindbad and his 7 journeys, which I already tried to illustrate with slides and music at the age of 17. But a fairyland? Oman is a monarchy, and the ruler Sultan Qaboos bin Said has governed the country since 1970. He is supported by the State Council and the Consultation Council. The Sultan is loved by the people, and his portrait can be seen everywhere. Not for nothing, because he has guided and transformed Oman in recent decades to a modern state. A country between old tradition and modern life. The UN mentions Oman as a country that has been able to improve its social and economic situation the most over the last 40 years. This progress is not attributable solely to oil and gas revenues, as might be expected, but to impressive long-term improvements in health and education. In 2005, His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah Al-Zalmi and Sheikh Saud bin Ali Al-Khalili approached archaeologist Michael Jansen from the RWTH Aachen University, and the idea of establishing a private university in Muscat was born. And in 2007, the German University of Technology in Oman started with the help of the RWTH Aachen. The campus of this university is in an expansive structure. A museum with an exhibition hall has just been completed, and another building for urban planners and architects as well as other disciplines was nearing completion. The main building of this university, with its courtyard as an amphitheater, is a jewel. and I was allowed to start my courses in the rooms of this building. I got support from two strong women, Carmen and Sarah, without whose organizational skills things would have been different, especially in terms of materials and room logistics. At the weekend, I saw the palace district Al-Alam with the residence of the Sultan, and thereafter the Souk of Mutra. Old trading houses with pointed arch windows, balconies and elaborate window coverings met me on the way to the bazaar. The enchanting smells of spice, frankincense, scented oils, perfume and sweets accompanied me while strolling through this oriental cabinet of wonder. It is considered one of the most beautiful oriental markets in Oman. What you should know, the Omanis are characterized by warm hospitality to strangers. I experienced this on a special place, in the desert. The way there should never be done with only one car. Now, we drove alone, but we were lucky and arrived at the destination at the camp. On the way, we met a unique species that deserves our great respect. The Omani camel is actually a dromedary, because apart from its two-hump cousin, the camel, it only has one hump. Wild they roam the desert, but those who encounter a seemingly wild, stray dromedary can be sure that it belongs to a proud owner, because for more than 5,000 years these animals are domesticated here. In any case, the desert camp was very inviting, and the Indian and Omani staff shone with a service that, although simple but quite comfortable, conditions in which the other foreign guests participated. In the evening, we went to a big dune to watch the sunset. A real experience in this cultural environment that looked like a big relief on me. And these sand moulds really live, as I try to show in this little movie. In the evening light, we were served dates and Omani coffee, and then we drove back to the camp. We were at the end of the convoy and unfortunately lost the connection. And after a wanderings in the dark, our car stuck in the sandbank. A real delicate situation, until the Omani leader freed us again and brought us safely to the camp. Even it was only one night, the desert revealed its ambivalent beauty. It is a strangely existential place, which led me back to elemental behavior in nature and life. Back at GUtech, I had the opportunity to give essential cornerstones of sculptural design in a lecture to a very interested audience. The content was about the imagination, the ability of man to make mental transformations. On the other hand, the inseparable components of concept and artisanal understanding of creation, as well as the methods of freedom and play in teaching.
Nice to see you. It's hope to see you again.
When talking about design, perception is usually the key word, but in our image-flooded, hectic time, it is hard, even not impossible, to activate a naive and fresh view. But when I speak of naivety here, I mean something positive in the sense of impartiality, free of mental fetters, with the power of individuality. A position able to face a phenomenon neutrally and independent of one's knowledge, being open for individual discoveries and inventions. And exactly those qualities met me here. The fabulous wonders of the Orient and the genie from the bottle seemingly took a shape here. Here, in the artistic expressions of those young people, an aesthetic behavior revealed itself to me, which miraculously revealed the abilities and skills of these young designers and thereby room for individual expressions. The first exercise was called my personal relief. Composition and form finding were the leitmotif of the reliefs, which were negatively pressed in clay and poured positively into plaster. Each student used a small object from their personal environment, which were pressed in the clay plate, and with these negative forms began a compositional form game. The rules of this game each student determined by themselves. In the second task, conceptual and compositional aspects play a major role. With only 3 forms, triangle, square and circle, should be operated and designed. The next exercise was focused on teamwork and a collective aesthetic decision. A group of 7 or 10 students developed a small cubic sculpture. This was built in cardboard on a larger scale, and each student should design a color concept for this sculpture. A ranking in the group determined the best color decision, and this was transferred in the group together, 1 to 1, on the collective sculpture. This task was called head over heels and treated the space above the head, which is known to us as a sensory or mental area. It is attributed to different culture qualities and meanings, for example through the nimbus or the crown, as well as a space of enlightenment and spiritualization. In any case, this space was to be developed in a formal and playful way. And in the process, one's own forms manifested themselves out of the logic of the material and the self-imposed criteria. Working with the wooden sticks I also call drawing in space, because the sticks, singly or in density, define 3-dimensional lines that can form and describe a sculptural body. The last exercise was called A Tower for My Dreams. In the interplay of chaotic states and system-oriented action, in the process of rejection and order search, every student should design a tower for their dreams and model it out of wooden sticks, floor space 25 centimeters and high 80 centimeters maximum. Thereby, constructive possibilities and impossibilities, which are examined in the further study under reputable aspects of the construction, further develop. What stands out as a special feature in all exercises, results and experiences is that the students of the first semester got to know each other, and the beginning of further studies is embedded in a sustainable sense of achievement. This experience of success was justified because the results were reflected in the final performance and exhibition in the amphitheater in the best light. I must confess that the students in this time have really grown dear to my heart, especially through their openness and friendliness. A trait that I will always connect to this country and its people.
أحمر ما جيت لونك سكن في كل بيت، حي الله العماني ما ظن غير حبيت، أحمر الدم واللون بقى عشقنا مجنون، نحبك نحبك نسأل الله العون، هذا علمنا رافع دوم سنة، وينها وين الصفقة وين باقي جمعنا، كلنا لك هتفنا غالية منتخبنا، أحمر وأحمر أحمر